Today I'm going to see into your cases, and I need those of you who hit rock bottom in life now.
I didn't understand my father. It turns out I have a great dad.
This is Method, the show with no script. The people who came will show me their scripts, and my task is to identify this script and show what to do with it. Let's see. This is Method. I have no script, but I hope you came here with your scripts and we will read them. Today I'll see into your cases, not just into the case of a person on the chair next to me. I'll see into all your cases. So watch carefully. Don't miss anything. Now I need to understand which of you is prepared. Who is ready to come up here? No, stop. Who prepared for this show? For it to succeed, we need some very interesting story, a script. I need those of you who hit rock bottom in life right now. Look, the main areas of life are money, relationships, health, self-realization. It's when you look into your bank account and it lacks 30 million, and your phones are ringing endlessly. Creditors surrounded you from all sides. You come home and your wife is having sex with your friend. Then you think, well, okay. You come to the doctor and he tells you, that's it, cancer. You have 3 months to live. And it's all happening at the same time. There are people who live in this. It's not when you have a slight fever and say I'm dying. I distance myself from other people. It is clear that each of you has some questions and some problems. But believe me, you like to complain much more than you should, according to amount of bad situations in your life. It's so sweet to complain. It's like when you meet your friends and start bragging about who's doing worse. Can you imagine they gave me a stale tomato? How could they? You don't understand that there are people who have real problems. They're big enough that when he wakes up in the morning, he thinks, am I going to live today, or is this it? Question number 2. Which of you has really prepared? Yes, let's go with you. What's your name?
Alexander. Anxious.
Relax. How do you feel?
Trembling. Shaking inside.
Imagine that they don't exist.
It's not because of them.
Is it because of me?
It is because of me.
So, you are focused on the right spot, on yourself.
I want to resolve the issue. In my case, it's a relationship. I met a woman and I thought, she's cool in general, but probably nothing will work. There's too much of her. She's too much. Then I thought, I want to live in peace, mind my own business, and basically, well, in short, with no showiness. As a result, I created it in my life, and different emotional moments begin. We started to move from country to country. We wasted all of our money.
Damn, you were having a great time.
Yes, I know in a moment it seemed like it. I created this fun for myself. Okay. For what? I think it's cool for me to live in one place. yes, to travel, but it's not like when you just throw in all your money and live for 2 months in Turkey and then you think, I have no money to get home. Where can I rent an apartment? As a result, I tracked down the situation. It's the topic of parents relationships, where I did not understand my father. My father lost everything at some point and just stayed at home. He did something at home while my mom was working. I said, how can you live like this? Like, you're a fucking man. Oh, can I talk like that?
Yes, you can.
I don't know if it's acceptable. That is, I said, what kind of men live at the expense of women or earn less? In the end, where do you think I am now?
The world responded. You see, the question was straightforward. How can you live like this?
Yes.
At the expense of women? And it's like, well, how is it? Tell us how you can live like that.
Honestly, unpleasant.
Come on.
Well, considering that I created it and I live this life now,
Yes.
it's probably nice. At the same time, I understand that I wish differently.
Come on.
Yeah, damn.
Do you know where the exit is? Any ideas?
Well, no.
That is, there are no ideas.
Well, no, there are different ones. There were different denominations. I tried a lot of esoteric practices in my life, as they say you need to accept, learn to receive from a woman. I asked, do you mean receive everything? In the common terms, it's gigolo. Admit that I'm a gigolo? It's hard for me.
And it's not very good, is it?
Well, no.
You came to me for a new version, right?
I don't know why I came. I know it was important for me to be here because I wanted you to buy, so that you could buy a Freudian slip, right?
Yes. Yes.
That is, I bought tickets lying in bed at 1:30 at night with a phone and a credit card. Sales will start now and I will buy. I assure you I've been waiting. Everything went right that day. I couldn't sleep. I usually fall asleep at 11, so that you understand. That's it. I waited 10 minutes. At 20 minutes to go, they opened the sale. I immediately paid.
I can sleep now. Oh, my dear
I
one.
told myself, that's it.
All right. Do you need a way out of this situation? We can leave it as is.
No.
If you don't mind.
Yes.
The woman doesn't mind. I don't care how you have fun.
I want to figure out how to get out of this situation and live.
Let's recall how you got into this. Well, it makes sense, right? The exit is in the same place as the entrance.
It's reasonable.
Where did you get into it, this situation?
As I understand it, it's necessary to describe how it all started.
No, it's just
Where did I get into it?
a specific moment. What did you do to get into this matrix? Where was the entrance? Look, he's paused for now. It's interesting that a person does not understand with what events, actions, thoughts, feelings, decisions he created this situation. The same goes for you. You are in some kind of situation. You ask, oh, where am I? And how did I get in here? You remember how you came to this show? At 0030, you were lying in a bed. You paid with a card. You know where the entrance. How did you get into the situation where you live at the expense of women? Where do you think this trigger is?
I assume that perhaps I don't accept my parents' behavior model, which I decried, condemned, and didn't accept.
Yes. Yes, actually.
I tried to heal them, to make them better.
Bingo. So you were thinking something about your father.
About the mother and father, about how they manifest themselves in a relationship.
Yes.
And how can he do that? How can she do that?
Total scoundrels. Do you understand now?
Yeah.
I need Father of the Year and Mother of the Year. Shall we call your parents?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, please.
Can you be Alexander's father? Please. get up. Now, we need this. How does your mom feel about your dad?
They live together, but they fight all the time. She's always complaining about him.
It's okay. So we need a woman who is tough with a man, right?
It's not obvious, but still.
Here, the woman in red. Come on. You are so beautiful. The perfect family. What's your name?
Alexei.
Alexei. What's your dad's name?
Alexander.
Alexander. Mom of the year. What's mom's name?
Katya.
Katya. And what's your mom's name?
Maria. It's very uncomfortable, you know.
We can stop the process.
No.
No, that's it?
I knew subconsciously where I was going.
He doesn't respect you. In general, he thinks that you did everything wrong. You built a relationship with this woman incorrectly. What did you condemn your dad for? Come on.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
No. Look, what's your...
There were a lot of condemnations.
What's your girlfriend's name?
Irina.
Is Irina earning well?
Yes.
We can leave it as it is, actually.
No.
It's okay, isn't it?
There were many complaints about alcoholism. About
Your dad.
my dad, yes. When I was a kid, I didn't get the kind of attention I wanted and imagined attention from father to his son. Let's just say that I revealed a few things talking to my parents about these topics. There were also other things that I didn't know because we were too young, that once he left mom with us, went somewhere.
Generally a terrible person.
I can't say that. I don't want to say that, but I used to think that sincerely.
Look, it's interesting. One part of Sasha says, I was condemning dad. And the other says, I don't want to say that. Now, just by the phrases, you can even see these inner sub-personalities of yours. One says, damn, I'm actually...
Yes.
And the other one, I can't, it's my dad. That's the dismembering in the head. Who has a Senate in their head, too? Look, you're not alone. With a Senate in your head? Do you want me to tell you a joke? Let's take a break. Commercial break. American Dream family. We didn't write the script, but we have identified only 3 topics that we will talk about. The first topic is who has difficulties in life. The second topic is parents. Do you understand how space works? You could have come with any request, from any side. Ira is not very good for me, or something else. No, you came specifically about Dad. I want to show you the beauty of this idea and the beauty of the scripts. You came here in your own ways. I give 1,000,000% that each of you is the same Alexander and condemn his parents. Dad is an alcoholic. Mom is not good enough. And in general, how could you run yourself like that? Or how could you live with this alcoholic for 15 years? Why is she... Remember your questions in your head when you condemned your parents and their fate and their choices. The world works perfectly. It's just there. Look, there is not a single millimeter superfluous in the world. And each of you makes an experience for yourself with the questions. Like, how could it be like this? He is generally wrong. How could he drink like that? Hands and feet in the right place, head in the right place. What right did you have, after all, to do this? Each of you condemned your parents and disagreed with their fate. And the world has only one remedy, one very simple remedy, for you to agree with the fate of your parents. How? Repeat it. Pam, 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 Pam.
In fact, yes, I am now.
Let me guess. Ira repeats her parents with you, too. This is also a failure, but you both have it. This is not.
No, as far as I know. In general, she has the opposite story. Her mother doesn't work, her father works and has always worked, and her mother's never worked.
Yes.
But I'm doing the opposite.
Does she respect Mom?
As far as I know, yes. She also worked on her family and parents' issues, including Mom.
Okay, so you just happen to be a match.
No. I know there's no such thing as accident.
No. Not at all? How is Dad feeling?
I feel shame, guilt,
That you're some kind of bad father, right?
that I'm not the father I should be.
And you probably did the same to your father, didn't you?
My father has problems with alcohol. He was after Mom and I was a buffer.
Yeah.
Between father and mother.
Yes, it's an unbearable place for a child to be a buffer between father and mother. No child can resolve a mom and dad relationship. And moreover, not only no child can resolve the relationship between mom and dad, no child can choose. The most terrible question you can ask a child is, "Baby, who do you love more, Mom or Dad?" A very mundane, seemingly harmless question. In fact, you are simply destroying a person's psyche at this moment, because it is impossible to make this choice. Do you know why? Because as soon as a child chooses who he loves more, Mom or Dad, he automatically becomes a traitor to the other side. Who do you love more? I'm Daddy's daughter. And this child becomes a traitor to her mother. Who do you love more? Mommy? And he becomes a traitor to his father. They this burden. I am a traitor to the closest people, to Mom and Dad. Although it would seem that he has nothing to do with it at all. This is their story. Maybe you can't see it, you can't hear it, but they have a process going on. They live their big cartoon. You're actually living your cartoon, too. Choosing between Mom and Dad is like choosing which hand you need more, the right or the left. It's a choice without a choice. This is an unbearable situation. It's an unbearable situation to try to save Mom or Dad and fix something for them. It's fun, yeah. In fact, it's all about the same thing. As I explained before, it's the desire to fix something in a perfect world. I have some great news for you. That's your dad. He did the best for you. He gave you life. He did the rest with the resources he had. When you asked him, "Dad, give me more love, or time, or something," he really didn't have it. He didn't have it. He couldn't give you something he didn't have. Let me show you some scary thing. Julia, come here, please. We are the ones who have gadgets, the internet, some stories, airplanes. We are also outraged that they do not fly somewhere, that we have to take transfer flights. Please try to be all those people who were before your father. They didn't have water. They didn't have a bathtub. They divided the crust of bread into 7. Their children died a lot because medicine's level was lower than it is now. Losing a child in a world like this wasn't something special. Nevertheless, life, water, and shelter were provided from this layer, and 15 people slept in one room. And from the age of 5, they were left alone. They gave the best to us anyway, everything they had. And he goes on with his life, passes it on to Alexander. What kind of questions did you have for your dad about his drinking?
There are no questions now. Yes, there were all sorts of things. Once I thought it was wrong, and now I completely agree with your words, that the greatest gift is my life.
Yes. How do you feel?
Goosebumps.
Are you the same?
In a different way, but I felt it.
What do you feel towards them?
I'm fine with him. Everything is right. That's how it was supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Is your mom a controlling type? Isn't she?
I think she is.
Yes?
Yes, I think she is. She does it very gently. Recently, I realized how much control she has over everything, how much she is like that. That is, so that you understand, she writes to me every day, good morning, have a great day, tra-ta-ta. I'm like, Mom, I love you very much, but don't do this every morning, okay? Yes, all right. A day passes, good morning, tra-ta-ta. It really started to annoy me at that point.
See, and he lived with her. He also kept it in balance so it didn't break up after 2 months.
Dad, it turns out you're great. They're still together for so many years.
You know, I'd get drunk too. Yes? It turns out this structure remains intact due to the way he reacts. And Mom also wanted to give the best. She says, I'm scared, I'm in danger. If I don't control it, something will go wrong. I have to hold it now. Yes?
He can't do it, but who can? I have to then.
Of course. We just discussed that the world is, in fact, without you.
Yes, I have exactly the same story in a relationship now.
Come on.
Ira tries to help me with everything. I say I can handle it, and she's like, yes, and messing around with her help.
And then she'll say, he's so cool because everyone remembers who invested in this man. Are we going to come through it with you?
I'm ready.
I'll give you phrases from the method. We had such a long foreplay with you. What should we do when the picture is revealed? A dad's like that, a parent's like that, a mom's like that. Well, how do I get out of this? There is a life hack. These are all scripts. The scripts have several tasks. The first is to reveal everything that is hidden, to bring back everything that is excluded, to reveal and return. It turns out that in your system, in one way or another, this "I am supported by a woman" thing will endlessly transfer into the rejection of a dad in order to manifest and return. The exit is in the same place as the entrance. Say, "Dad,
Dad,
I judged you.
I judged you.
I thought I was the smartest,
I thought I was the smartest,
and you're wrong."
and you're wrong.
Say, "But it is good
But it is good
that I have no money,
that I have no money,
and I understood
and I understood
that everything is right."
that everything is right.
Say, "I acknowledge and accept
I acknowledge and accept
all those in my family
all those in my family
and in my reincarnations
and in my reincarnations
who felt helpless
who felt helpless
and powerless,
and powerless,
and I'm giving them space.
and I'm giving them space.
I embrace that experience
I embrace the experience
at exactly the price
at exactly the price
at which I got it."
at which I got it.
Do you understand the mechanics? Now we recognize all the prices that Sasha has already paid. You've already paid with your own lack of money. You've already walked this path. And you don't have to continue it, this script. The path should be continued, but the script should not be continued. The way out lies in your deep, sincere respect for your father. Try to look at him with a sense of gratitude for life and for what he has done for you. How great your dad is. It does not depend on any external circumstances, like that he is strong, powerful, a billionaire, or someone else. No, he is who he is. Someone's dad is already a little skinny old man, living on a small pension. But see how great your father is. Someone will say, "I didn't know my father. I don't have a father," and so on. It's all garbage in your head, too. Each of you came from mom and dad. And that's right. What happened between mom and dad is also right. There was no mistake in mom's fate, and there was no mistake in dad's fate. Because if there were mistakes in their destinies, then the very fact of your life would also be a system error. If you admit that something was wrong with mom and dad, then it's like you're the product of a mistake. And then everything else you have, money, implementation, relationships, are with errors. Because you're defective from the beginning. You treat yourself like a defect, like you're to be melted down. And the beginning lies where you condemn your parents, their experience, and their fate. There are no mistakes in this world at all. Say this phrase, "I acknowledge and accept
I acknowledge and accept
the fate of my mother,
the fate of my mother,
and I give it space.
and I give it space.
There is no mistake in mom's fate.
There is no mistake in mom's fate.
I acknowledge and accept
I acknowledge and accept
the fate of my father,
the fate of my mother,
and I give it space.
and I give it space.
And there is no mistake in the fate of my father."
And there is no mistake in the fate of my father.
Say, "And it seems
And it seems
that my mom
that my mom
is the best woman for dad,
is the best woman for dad,
and my dad
and my dad
is the best man for mom."
And my dad is the best man for Mom. Or what the phrase was, I don't remember.
Tell your parents, "Dear Mom and Dad,
Dear Mom and Dad,
you will always be my parents."
you will always be my parents.
What kind of relationship you have as a man and a woman?
What kind of relationship you have as a man and a woman?
It doesn't concern me at all.
It doesn't concern me at all.
I am your child.
I am your child.
You will always be my parents.
You will always be my parents.
But as a man and a woman,
But as a man and a woman,
you can blow each other's heads off.
you can blow each other's heads
It doesn't
off.
concern me.
It doesn't concern me.
Say, "I won't be anymore."
I won't be anymore.
Separating part
Separating part
in your relationship.
in your relationship.
I just don't have the power for
I
it.
just don't have the power for it.
And I give it space.
And I give it space.
How do you feel? Get up. Get behind his back. Ah, how interesting. Oh, how interesting. Come on. Say, "And it seems
And it seems
that I'm married
that I'm married
to my mom."
to my mom.
When he stood up, the right place for his parents is behind his back, and she took the place of his wife, his partner. I'm like, no, 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 go back. Then, that's what it is.
There was a period, yes, when my father was an alcoholic, and I now understand that at some point, I took the role of a man in the family when my father was drinking, and I tried to solve everything as much as I could.
Okay, say, "I acknowledge and accept
I acknowledge and accept
all those in my family
all those in my family
and in my reincarnations
and in my reincarnations
who was energetically
married to his mother,
and I'm giving them space.
and I'm giving them space.
I acknowledge and accept
I acknowledge and accept
all my reincarnations
all my reincarnations
when I was married to my mom,
when I was married to my mom,
and I give it space.
and I give it space.
I acknowledge and accept
I acknowledge and accept
that in my past reincarnations,
that in my past reincarnations,
I was Oedipus.
I was Oedipus.
He married his mother,
He married his mother,
and he killed his father.
and he killed his father,
And I give this experience space.
and I give this experience space.
I embrace that experience
I embrace that experience
at exactly the price
at exactly the price
at which I got it.
at which I got it.
I teach according to the method that there are many layers. There is a layer of current life, the ancestral system, reincarnations, the universal level, and the alien level. At the universal level, there is a legend about King Oedipus. When he married his mother, killed his father, and it became a legend. And in classical psychology, there is such a concept as Oedipus complex. Around the age of 5 or 7, boys unconsciously say, "Mommy, I'm going to marry you." And women play this story, especially if there is a divorce with a real husband. So the boys' moms are clawing at their sons' throats. And they're like, "Oh, cool." These men are walking around, betraying, and generally they are uncontrollable. They live their secret lives. But my son, my favorite person, is just an ideal man. And you know, if you want the perfect man, you have to give birth to him. Women often get into this very much and put an end to their personal lives. When you are energetically in partnership, in an incestuous relationship with your 7-year-old, 10-year-old, or 20-plus-year-old, then you can... In general, there are a lot of problems there, including disrespect for the father. Father is a social realization, money. then your way out of this situation is in deep respect for your father. You need to go straight through this story. It doesn't matter if the father is alive or not, who will be watching. You need to get in direct contact with Dad. Dad, how are you doing? How do you feel? Damn, I'm sorry, I did something. I messed up something. Damn, take the position of a son. Not when you judge, advise, save, or do something, but when you are small and he is big. This is the only right option. This is the only right position. As soon as you get into any other position in space, not in the position of a child, then the world begins to teach you. Money, relationships, situations, stories. Then you will cry, oh, I have loans, and my man betrayed me, and something else. This is the basis. How do you feel?
Well, everything is right, and I'm better.
There is one more interesting story. It's like an additional task. Any person you judge, it doesn't matter whether it's mom or dad, you are handcuffed with them at this moment. Sasha was judging Dad, and he was handcuffed with him. That is, if I condemn someone, then I don't have a chance to let go. This condemnation is what your handcuffs are. If you condemn a friend, you are handcuffed with him. You're going to build your life, and you drag him along like that. You judge 15 people. You drag these 15 people in your field. And then you have nothing at all to build your life. You're going to get into these scripts, these relationships, all the time. And you'll say, that's it. I don't want to be with him anymore. No, you will be dragged into this all the time. And it doesn't matter if you communicate with a person or not. You say, oh, we haven't talked for 15 years. I don't know anything about his life. Believe me, you can carry a person inside you, even if you haven't talked to him for 15 years. Moreover, when a person comes to therapy and starts to deal with it, suddenly it turns out there is a huge dormitory in his bed. Any unfinished relationships, any judgments, any pressing conflicts. You keep carrying a person inside yourself, repeating scripts, and there's just no chance. It's like a swamp. It sucks in. There's no chance to get out. The exit is in the same place as the entrance. You are returning to the place where you began to judge, where this intertwining of destinies happened. It happened at the moment when you condemned, when the balances were unequal, when you left your place. Your money is in deep respect for your father.
Thank you.
And in divorcing your mother, say, Mom, I'm divorcing you.
Mom, I'm divorcing you.
Dad, I respect you.
Dad, I respect you.
And you don't have to earn my respect.
And you don't have to earn my respect.
How do you feel?
Powerful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Such mass psychotherapy. It seems there's nothing special, you'd think. I just watched the show. These are the principles that I told you about today. They work everywhere. You can crack any of your situations, any of your stories. Everything is so simple that the brain even wonders if it's really that simple. People like to make things difficult for themselves. The concept is the world is perfect. Everything in it does not need to be fixed. Your task is to agree and to go deeper and deeper into this agreement every time. You move into agreement, then the next layer emerges, and you learn to agree with it too. The world begins to unfold, to change. Then this agreement, this core, does an incredible thing. If before that you were tiny and argued with a 10 billion giant that existed long before your time, and you couldn't do anything with it, you didn't have enough resources, then when you said, okay, I give up, I don't have the strength to cope with you, I just don't have that many resources, I give up and agree, then you become a part of this machine, this system with its laws and events, how it works. You can use its resources by upgrading the acceptance. Why do you think I have the results that I have? I just go very deeply into agreement, very deeply with those things, including those that I thought I would never be able to accept, into acceptance over and over again. The world is beautiful, and through this acceptance you begin to feel joy. It turns out it's great that I'm breathing. Then you start to feel happy. It doesn't come from money. No, but from this feeling of acceptance of everything that is happening, and the assumption that everything is just happening. Acceptance can control reality. Acceptance does not mean indifference. It contains a lot of feelings. It could be anger, denial, and confusion. Acceptance does not equal emotionlessness. It's not like you're not doing anything. You keep living. But every time you accept anyway. No one has enough resources to fight, to conquer the world. None of us. When you are in agreement with everything as it is, then you connect to these resources. Then you are not a small grain of sand, but a 10 billion world that was created a long time ago. You become a part of it, and its resources become your resources. Then you can use these resources to do anything at all, to create, to fulfill your potential. As much of it will fit into your head, as many resources you will be provided with. The world has enough money to buy the entire planet 15 times over. There is no shortage. There is no shortage of money. There is no shortage at all. But at the same time, someone lives in a deficit, in a shortage, in a sense of this shortage. You say, no, how is that? I live like this. When you live like this, it means that the level of disagreement is too high. Who is fighting the most? You know, there are simple examples so that you can see its human face. If you have children, you know that a child needs to eat, and that eating sweets only is not good. He needs to eat a regular, hot meal. You are a parent, a loving parent. You sincerely understand that you need to feed him, and you need him to be safe, so it shouldn't be just candies. Imagine this parent. It's like the world. It's a big world. It has something. And you're saying like a kid, no, I don't want porridge. Give me sweets. What if you eat 15 pieces at once and on a bet? He says, no, you need borscht with meat. No. If you chew a wrapper and swallow it, what will happen? The world thinks, well... So every person is like that moody child who says, everything is not right for me. I disagree. I am against. Altogether, parents are wrong, and they are not good enough, and everyone is wrong. Then what will the mother do? She says, so there will be no cartoons. There will be no computer. You will not go for a walk. You will eat as much borscht as I said. At 9, you must be in bed. And so on. That is, some kind of preventive measure starts. It's the same with people and the world, one-on-one. Only pride prevents you from seeing it. It seems that it was Dad who was wrong. Yes? That's amazing. That's all for today.